Nebraska and Tampa, and on Highway 19 in Fort Ritchie. The Todd has it all. Start your summer with a bang. And remember, the couples that play together stay together. The Todd Couples Superstore. Passion, play, pleasure. 813-971-0007.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window, and we would like to manufacture and install your windows. Every single New South window is custom manufactured just for your home. Now you can buy 2 windows and get the third absolutely free. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com or call for your factory direct pricing.
Call now, 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
It's the Drew Garabo Live featured cut of the day. Sponsored by Renewal by Anderson, Florida. A better way to a better window. RBAFLA.com. Now, back to the Mike Calta After Show. Happy Hour. Happy Hour. Oh, happy hot topic.
Welcome back. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe, filling in for Carmen on the Mike Calta After Show, 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. You can tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. You can always email me, ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. And today's poll, let me look at the results at Ryan Hoppe Radio. It was, have you ever taken an Uber or a Lyft after a night of drinking? And we have a lot more votes, but the percentage is the same. 86% said yes, and 14% said no. I teased that I was going to play the clip, and then I took the calls from all of Tampa, which I deeply appreciate. So without further ado, this is from ABC Action News, which I think is one of the best local news in all of America. I'm from Chicago. I lived in Cleveland. Their local news was that means okay in urban terms. But in Chicago, it was great, obviously. But in Tampa, man, we got some of the best news reporters. And here is Wendy Ryan from ABC Action News talking about how an Uber driver helped passengers to safety after the Ybor City shooting.
Footage shows the chaos after shots were fired in Ybor City over the weekend. This video is from an Uber driver who jumped into action to help get people to safety. ABC Action News reporter Mary O'Connell spoke to that man about this incident.
Thad Torrix was in Ybor City working as an Uber driver, getting ready to pick some people up, when suddenly
I hear what is unquestionably the sound of gunfire.
Torrix's dash cam was rolling at that very moment. You can see here as people start to scatter.
Man, I'm worried for the passengers.
Tampa police say around 3 a.m. Sunday, several shots were heard from a parking lot at the intersection of 7th Avenue and 15th Street.
Yeah, you don't want to be out that late.
The young lady who has hired the Uber, and I just said, this is where I am. We need to get you in this vehicle now. It's not safe to be here. It's time to go. And at first, she messaged and said, hey, we're locked inside the Ritz. They won't let us out. And I said, well, I'm not going anywhere. I have daughters.
I hope this Uber driver got the greatest tip of all time.
As this was happening, Torrix's dash cam captured the moment passengers piled into his car to get to safety.
That was actually terrifying.
When the pickup group was finally able to get to his truck, Torrix told them to put as many people as they need in his car to get away from the area.
I did that. Remember when the championship game for NCAA, I don't know that much about college sports. I think it was Auburn and Clemson in like 2017. I did that. I was at the Burger King across the block from Raymond James, and there was like maybe 8 people. It was like 4 bros and 4 women. And they were from South Carolina, which I believe is where Clemson's at. I don't know that much about it. And they're like, hey, is it cool if we bring in a few more of my friends? And I was like, I think so.
Shove everyone in because we want to get them out of Ybor City.
Torrix says over the last 28 years, he spent most of his life as a paramedic and flight paramedic. And for about 10 of those years, he was a police officer too. And at this moment, something else kicked in.
First, be a good human.
Everything good?
It feels good to do good, so do good things. Help these people. The next thing was probably dad. I am a dad, and dad mode right away kicks in.
I like this guy. What I like about him is that he didn't give up, because a lot of Uber drivers would be like, I want to save my own life. But I like the fact that he did not give up. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Here's some news from ABC News.
At mid-air scare, both pilots on a flight from New York to Rome allegedly falling asleep and failing to respond to air traffic control for over 10 minutes. Our transportation correspondent, Gio Benitez at LaGuardia Airport. Good morning, Gio.
What's weird about flying is like you never know what's going on in the front of it. You never know what's going on at all when you're at an airport. It's very nerve-wracking. You're literally putting your life in their hands while flying in the air. It's frightening.
Hey, Michael, good morning. This is truly unsettling. The two pilots allegedly falling asleep 38,000 feet in the air. Now,
you know the reporter loves saying that to be dramatic. Make sure you bring up that it was 38,000 feet. It sounds scarier.
It was a massive plane, an Airbus 330, with as many as 250 passengers on board. It was a flight from JFK to Rome last month and over France. While the first officer was on his designated sleeping break, investigators say the captain allegedly fell asleep too. Air traffic controllers losing contact for about 10 minutes. They were so concerned, fighter jets were prepared to intercept, but the pilots eventually started responding. ITA Airways, previously known as Alitalia, says the captain claimed that the radio stopped working, but investigators found no issues. Now, ITA says it has fired the captain, and we should tell you, after all of that, that plane did land safely.
What I often wonder when things like this happen and they let the person go is, how do you bring this up in your next job interview? They're like, hey, so can we trust you, Jeff? Yeah, I like to sleep during plane rides, but besides that, no big deal. Which, when I'm flying, not when I'm flying, but when I'm a passenger on a plane, I can't sleep. Number one, because even if I get more room, it's the same as anything else because I'm so tall. And number two, it's very hard for me to sleep while in the air. So you literally have to be a sociopath if you were able to sleep while flying. I get that you're used to it and it's probably not a big deal to you, but the weirdest thing, I think it's happened a few times, but I remember it happened like 15 years ago because I was in the car when they announced it on the radio. But there was like a guy who was flying that was drunk. And I was like, man, that is just not a good choice. But you know what is a good choice is going to the phones. Hi, you're on the air. Hi, you're on the radio talking to 10 million kajillion people. What's your name?
Jeremy.
What's going on?
I just wanted to give a shout out to my best friend that just recently passed away. His name was Bubby Wool, and he was a great dude. And he liked listening to y'all's show. I like listening to every single one of you guys. You guys are awesome. But Bubby Wool was a great dude, man.
What's your favorite memory of your friend?
I got so many favorite memories, but one time I was on my way to a job interview, and my car got declined. He just happened to be driving right by me. He stopped. I told him, man, my car got declined. He went in the store. I didn't even know it. Stood up my day.
Dude, that's a good friend, man. I'm sorry he passed. How do you want him to be remembered? What was some of the best parts about him?
He was a guy that gave his heart to everybody that deserved it, that needed it. He gave everybody a chance, no matter what. And he was the biggest Bucks fan ever. He had the biggest collection of Bucks memorabilia I've ever seen. He was a diehard Bone fan too.
Well, my man, I can tell that you have a big heart too. So a lot of times you're not sure what to say, but just know that I'm sending good vibes your way. I am so sorry, my man. Awesome. Thank you, bro. Well, that's not awesome, but you know what I'm saying. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Now, I grew up listening to EDM music. I love it. It's my favorite thing. I know a lot of the Bowen audience is probably into rock and roll music, probably thinks it sounds like robots having sex. But EDM music was very popular. It was house music in the 90s, and it was dance music, and then it became EDM music like in the early 2010s. And it really defined a generation. My graduation class of 2012, I didn't partake in this, but a lot of my friends now have brain damage because they were just popping ecstasy at these warehouse parties in Chicago like it was a vitamin. It was unbelievable. And one of my closest friends isn't necessarily brain dead, but he's lived at home for the last 10 years, and he was a cool basketball player growing up. He was going to go to LSU, and then he went to Iowa because he couldn't get into it because his grades were fading. So EDM music, if you're not a millennial, you don't get how big it was. It died around 2015, but for those 4 years, man, all those guys were huge. One of them was Diplo, and he's big now. Like, yeah, they're getting like millions of listens, but they're just not as relevant. And this is proof that they're not as relevant. So Diplo was the DJ for the Cans party, for the Cans Fest. And sounds like I was very invited because I know the official name of it. Well, he was booked as the DJ, and he was denied entry. And I'll get to the news clip in a second. But what's funny is you don't really know what these DJs look like. So it's quite possible that they just thought he was some Joe Schmo. Because a lot of times when I'm listening to like my old favorite EDM songs from growing up, I'll click on the page and it'll show what the DJ looks like. And you're like, I could have met that guy outside of Winn-Dixie and had no idea that he had hits. But without further ado, let's find out how Diplo did not get into the party he was invited to.
Plead with security in Cannes to let him into the party he's booked to DJ. The celeb shares a hilarious video of his attempt to access a Cannes festival yacht where he says he's supposed to be. He captions the video, quote, "I was booked to DJ a yacht party in Cannes, but security wouldn't let me in."
To be fair, he is wearing a sweater and he has blue hair like it's 2005. So like I said, we don't know what the official DJs look like, but man, oh man, maybe dress a little better, dress like you deserve to be there, command the room. I'm just saying, like, you're going to be playing the same music, but maybe just wear a suit and tie, be classy for once. But we are talking about an EDM DJ here.
As he goes back and forth with the event's gatekeepers, Diplo adds in text that he realized, quote, "The yacht was empty, so I was about to take the L and go get food." To be honest, can't blame him when up against this level of guest list scrutiny.
It's bizarre when you look at these videos of like these famous people on their yachts, and you're just like, they have so much money in their bank account that they're able to afford a yacht. Because they're going to die at the end of the day someday, and they go to the bathroom. That's my like rule about when rich people act like they're better than you. I go, you're no different than us. You just got more money in your bank account. And it's crazy how he's just a famous DJ with a yacht. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's bizarre to think about.
Luckily for the superstar DJ, the owner of the boat realized what was happening and invited him behind the velvet rope. He says alongside his bid, "Next time, I'm adding myself to the guest list."
You do that, bro. It'll work out for you. Definitely not commanding the room. Also, it's got to be weird when the guy that owns the place lets you in. Like, have you ever, like, not been allowed into, like, a nightclub? This hasn't happened to me, but I've heard about it. And then the, like, owner lets you in, and then what happens is the security guards look annoyed that you're being let in. That's what happened. I know this is radio, so you couldn't see the footage, but they looked annoyed. Like, I almost think the security guards knew that it was Diplo, and he comes in wearing a sweater and blue hair, and they're like, let's just mess with him, because, I mean, come on now. Hi, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hi, you're on the air. Hi, you're on the radio. That was the best call today. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Going back to my very slightly crude comment about how we all die at the end of the day and we all go to the bathroom, I feel the same way about politicians and their families when they get away with committing crimes or whatever. And I haven't voted for 8 years. I despise our president. I despised our previous president. I was indifferent about Obama because I'm from Chicago. I despised Bush. I think Bill Clinton's weird. So I hate all politicians. I think they're all scumbags. I think it's all a power trip. They're the kids that were ignored at the playground, and now they want a power trip. And Nancy Pelosi's husband got a DUI. And I know this was a few days ago. But let me tell you, I think it's utterly ridiculous that there has been no coverage of it. Because the liberal media, and this is not me going down a conspiracy route, but the liberal media, the Today Show, Good Morning America, they talk about it for 40 seconds. Can you imagine if Melania Trump would have got a DUI, or Junior, or Eric, any of them, Ivanka, they would be crucified. But when it's everyone's favorite princess, Nancy Pelosi, we're protecting them? Utterly ridiculous. Nancy Pelosi is just, she's awful. All of them are awful. But she just gives me the vibe like she thinks she's better than you. She thinks she's above you. And it's just infuriating. It really makes me feel so unimportant. And I know I should feel unimportant at all times because we're here for a short time and then we die. But it's like, they get away with it just because they're elected. Infuriating. It makes me so mad. And then there were rumors about Hunter Biden that he's sharing Pornhub clips with his dad. And he's like, they took his phone and his computer and he sent a Pornhub clip or two to Joe's texts. And I'm like, what a weird family. All of them. Everybody.
Husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was arrested over the weekend on suspicion of DUI. The 82-year-old was taken into custody late Saturday in Napa County, California, after being involved in a car accident. No one was injured in the crash.
Here's the thing, too. Because nobody died, which I'm glad nobody died, but it's not getting any attention because then the original lead will go, oh, well, he's a crazy old man. He didn't know what he was doing, blah, 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 da-da-da. But you better believe if a life was taken, it'd be a little bit different. It's just infuriating. Also, why is an 82-year-old man driving while drinking? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not against old people being on the road, but if this was any other average Joe out there, their license would be taken. But, oh, you're married to the likable princess known as Nancy Pelosi. Oh, you should have everything given to you.
The House Speaker wasn't with her husband at the time. She was in Rhode Island to deliver the commencement address at Brown University.
I would not want to be the person that had to tell Nancy Pelosi that her husband got a DUI. Because I feel like when you have to break news to Nancy Pelosi that's negative, it's probably not like good energy. I feel like even giving her good news, she doesn't give me vibes like she's a team player, like she's someone you want to intern for, like she's someone you want to work for. And I assume her commencement speech was probably great. It was probably a liberal school because she was invited. So everyone's excited to see her. So she walks off and she's like, yeah, I had a great speech. And then they're like, yeah, you know, your husband, he got a DUI. I don't know. It's sad. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Let's go to the phones real quick. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, on with Hoppe?
Yeah, man, what's happening? It's me.
What's up, dead air?
Dead air? Okay. And there is your request for some dead air. Hi, you're on the air. Well, the guy did. Hi, you're on the air. You're on the radio talking to a lot of people. What's going on? What's going on?
Actually calling. My son is a huge Raw fan. I was wondering if y'all could possibly hook me up with tickets.
I am not sure.
Really the only thing that we connect on. So I was wondering if you could hook it up for me.
Well, my man, I can't just give out prizes. I wish I could because I would hook you up. But listen to the top 10 list at 1:35 and listen to Dead Guy in the Envelope at 12:25, and I'm sure we'll be giving them away. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Hi, you're on the air.
Yeah, I wish you'd stop, Eric, Mike, or anybody else, or the Fox News. And I'm sorry, dude, I know you
So is yours, bud. Hi, you're on the air. Hi, you're on the radio, 941-35 whatever.
Hello?
Yeah, do you have it on Bluetooth or speaker? This is chaos. What's going on? Hi.
Wait a minute. Hello?
Yeah, hi, you're on the radio to a lot of people. What's going on, 941?
I want to say I hate that Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, now I love the call. And I don't vote. I don't care. But isn't she just repulsive?
Huh? Oh,
She gives me the vibes like...
yeah.
Yeah, and the thing about her, too, that I really didn't like, in the beginning of COVID, you could do whatever you want, or not really, but I'm saying you could believe or think whatever you want. And she was all about wear the masks. And then she was not wearing a mask. In the beginning of COVID, what happened?
That's a little bit like do as I say, not as I do.
That's what I think is literally what she lives by. It's a power trip. Like, that's somebody I wouldn't want to... Yeah. She seems like one of those people where if you make her mad and it's her fault, she'll blame it on everybody else. And because she has all the power, everyone believes her. Like, you can't even go up against her. Well, you are God's gift to me for giving me the call. Any fun plans this weekend? I said, do you have any fun plans this weekend?
Well, about a year and a half ago, I found out that my mother had a child that she gave up for adoption, and he found me. So I'm going to meet him in about 3 weeks.
Are you nervous?
No, well, we've been talking on Messenger and filming.
Oh, that's cool. So then it's not as like weird because then you feel like you know the person more.
Right. He's got my mother's eyes. I look at his eyes in the pictures of him, and everyone says I have my mother's eyes. So.
Well, I appreciate the call. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I hope you have a great time meeting your... Awesome. Thank you. Sherry, it was good to talk to you. And if you're near a car, make sure, or if you're in your car rather, listen to 1025 this weekend because we have the best radio going on. Damn right. This is why you're awesome. Have a good day. All righty. We have 6 calls coming in. The phone lines are blowing up, but we are out of time. So let me do some quick info for you. Up next is Roger and JP with Monica. And today, myself, I won't be talking on air, but if you call in, you'll hear me doing phones. 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Then it's Drew Garabo Live. Then it's a cat named Mo and Johnny B. And then Calta replays and Roger and JP in the overnight. And it's Saturday from 5 to 8 a.m. It's Tampa Bay Fishing Radio with Captain Zach and Gray Burchell. From 8 to 9 a.m., a very good show. It is the Attorney Patrick Smith Show. Then from 9 to 10, it's the best of Ask the Dom. Then from 10 to 11, it's the Weekly Checkup. Then 11 to 2, it's Miggs and Swig. And then it's the Mike radio show from 2 to 4. And if you want to hear more of what I do, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. All you got to do is go to every single major platform that has a podcast, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Odyssey, and search up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. And that's about it. I'm going to end this show by giving somebody the last word. Hi, you're on the air. We're about to end the show. How should we end the show? Got any final words? Hell yeah. I wish he was real.
Happy hour. Happy hour.